folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Look Back. This is where I take a look at reviews that I did a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago, and tell you what I think about them. So we'll start with a year ago. First of all, we have Amos Cube. This is kind of where you build a cube. You're basically just doing your own little, how do I put all these pieces together? Can be done solitaire with other players. It's a neat little device. Melody and I also took a look at King's Court, which, even though this game is old, it's basically super checkers, and it's a really good version. I mean, my kids have played this dozens of times since we've got it, maybe more than that, all really enjoying it, and it's neat to see an older game have that kind of staying power. Then we have Ex Libris. Now, this is a game that has gotten a lot of love. I liked it too, a worker placement game about building a library. That's a really cool concept, and the amount of effort put into building the library is amazing. The worker placements boards are a little, they're hard to read, and the special powers, I'm not convinced, are that balanced. So that would bring it down from being an excellent game for me, but I still like it and like the theme a lot. Seikatsu, this is a 2 or 3 player game, and I'm really not sure which number it plays best with, but just where you're trying to score for the rows that are facing a certain direction, I like it. Runes of Asteros. Now, Sam loves this game. This is basically a multiplayer mastermind style game, but it works really well, has a really cool theme and amazing artwork. Twilight Imperium 4. Well, this is one of those ones that I think that, has declined for me a bit. I still like the game. I'm just not sure that I want to put 8 to 10 hours into playing a game of it, but it is fantastic, and it is the ultimate space epic game. Hafid's Grand Bazaar. This is a simple game about trading and going back and forth and getting the different resources you need with some interesting concepts in it. Queen Domino. Now, I was not a big fan of King Domino. I thought it was too simple. Queen Domino put that a step up and just gave me kind of what I wanted to see in King Domino in the first place. Meeple Circus. Now, this game is a hilarious little dexterity stacking game. It's gotten a lot of positive buzz since we first took a look at it, and still does well, and is one of those games that I will see at conventions. Really, really fun. I also took a look at some code games, and I like maybe puzzles, and these teach you the basic steps of coding. I was very, very impressed with them. All 3 of them did a really good job at walking you through some basic steps and teaching you some basic concepts to programming. If you have kids or even adults who want to learn some basic things, this is a good way to do it in a very fun way. Smash Up Big in Japan. This was an expansion that introduced Titans, where the divider cards themselves became giant things that you could fight with. That was a neat concept. I wish they would have retroed it to other expansions, and then they did. Kind of, sort of. There's a packet you can get from retailers that turns some of the other factions into the same thing. But this was a lot of fun. Adventureland King and Princess. Adventureland is still one of my favorite games. I love the grid aspect of this game, and this expansion just gave more stuff for that. Rhino Heroes Super Battle. This is a dexterity game where you stack cards and with a rhino, but this one you're fighting against other people, rolling a die. It just makes it bigger and better if you like Rhino Hero. And then Photosynthesis. What a fantastic game this is. Not only is the theme one that I like a lot, and it looks beautiful on the board, but it's a mean, cutthroat, and yet very simple game. There's a lot going on to it. This is a game I can teach, and yet it takes a lifetime to master type situation. I'm very impressed with the concepts in this game, and it's really great. 5 years ago, I didn't really review anything this week, so let's jump to 10 years ago. And in 10 years ago, starting this coming Monday, I started doing video reviews for the first time. So we have Sodbusters. Wow, this is a garbage of a game. It was like, it's Misery the game. And I was nicer to it, I think, than I would be today. But in this game, you're building a farm, and the bank is constantly coming at you for loans. Then we have Taiji. This is a abstract strategy game, which I would be less nice to today because of the components, but the idea of placing the same pieces down is, one piece of your color, another piece of the other player's color, is a good one. Merlin's Company. This has dropped for me a bit. This is the very first video review I've ever done for Shadows over Camelot. the expansion, and it adds some things that I use. I use the extra knights. I think they're great. It adds a few things that I use occasionally, and then there's a few things in there that I never use. It just makes the game a little bit more complex than I normally want to play it. Get Bit. Great game. Sharks chasing people around in a circle. This game has been, I think, almost in print now for 10 years, and it deserves to be because it's a simple, fun little filler. And then finally, Tribune. Tribune is a worker placement game, and I dropped my rating slightly, but I still think it's a fantastic game about controlling different groups in ancient Rome. You want to control the patricians, you want to control the Senate, and then those groups gave you special abilities, and you're trying to get victory points. The endgame conditions could have been maybe slightly better defined, but the whole thing is a really fun, interesting game. And that's the games that I reviewed a year and 10 years ago. Thanks so much for watching Look Back. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel on the Dice Tower.